Hello, everyone. Thank you for signing in for tonight's Embracing Elul talk. Rabbi Roland is still, unfortunately, a bit under the weather, so he has made me a co-host here, but I'm going to turn the program over to that fellow in the corner there, whom I've known for quite some time and has some good things to say.
All right, good afternoon, everyone, and thanks to Deborah for coming up with this wonderful program and this idea. And I guess I'm the first congregant after Rabbi Roland, so that's the high pressure spot. So when I thought of what to say, I immediately gravitated to the Unatana Tokef. I've probably been reading it for 60 years, since I started going to high holiday services, the adult services with my folks 60 years ago. And when I read it last fall, I'm sure I'm not the only one who skipped over the first part. Death by wild beasts, stoning, plague. I figured this is stuff for the Middle Ages. Well, guess what? I'm going to pay a lot more attention this year, and I'm sure everyone else will, because pandemic is just a modern word for plague. Over 170,000 Americans have died already, and this pandemic has caused fear in everyone on this planet, and prayer, penitence, and good deeds cannot protect anyone from this virus, sadly. And while people with pre-existing conditions are, of course, more vulnerable, many otherwise healthy people have been struck down. So there are two responses. One, you can live for the moment, live for yourself, maximize your personal pleasure, don't care about tomorrow or anyone else. Or you can take the Jewish response, do whatever we can to keep ourselves safe and protect those around us. We're all responsible for each other, and make every moment of every day count. So then my thoughts went to the story of Cain and Abel. Surprise, surprise, sibling rivalry in the first family on earth. Cain kills his brother out of jealousy. And God asks Cain in Bereshit, chapter 4, verse 9, where is Abel thy brother? And Cain answers, Lo yadati, hashomer achi anochi? I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? Interestingly, God does not answer Cain directly, but one could say that the rest of Torah is God's answer, a resounding yes. Now more than ever, when we're in the midst of a crisis, our responsibility for each other, for our brothers, our sisters, is the greatest. Obviously, we wear masks, social distancing, and everything else we're all doing to be responsible. Ideally, reflection and prayer during Elul, continuing through the high holidays and for the rest of the year, should lead to action. Lots of people are suffering now from loneliness and isolation. We're all social beings. We crave interaction, close contact, hugs, handshakes. Nobody's getting enough, but for some, it's particularly hard. I just read that drug overdoses, sadly, have shot up again. And my theory is that a lot more people are lonely and depressed, and they're self-medicating. I saw a recent statistic, incredibly sobering, that 10% of adults in this country have contemplated suicide in the past few months. Doing everything by Zoom is great, but guess what? There's not a lot of emotional contact through Zoom, and none of us are getting enough personal contact. Most of us use Sundays to get ready for the upcoming week. If you're my age, you make a list, because otherwise you forget the important things you need to do for work and around the house. So I suggest that each of us add to that list each week the name of one person you used to see regularly and who you haven't seen. Resolve to check in with that person during the week by phone, email, text, however you want to do it, just to say hi, I miss you, I hope you're doing okay. If you can, make sure to include some people with health issues who you know haven't been able to get out very much. Even better, reach out to someone you used to see a lot, maybe at work, socially, or in the community, and for whatever reason, you've drifted apart. Trust me, you will certainly make someone happy that day. And you're also going to benefit from the response. And you really might make a profound difference to someone who's struggling. I try to practice what I preach, and I've started doing this. This week, I reached out to a close friend from high school and college, and he had a bout of cancer last year, and so I knew hasn't been out much and been pretty careful, so I reached out to him. And he was glad to hear from me, and I was glad to hear he was doing okay. So in this way, as we use this month of Elul to prepare ourselves for the high holidays, and as we continue into the high holidays and throughout the year, each of us can resolve to do something each week that's very easy, painless, and risk-free, but that might have a profound impact on someone else's well-being. Thanks very much for listening, and have a good week.